Okay, we're coming back. Welcome back. You're watching Public Forum, and today we are talking about the microfinance sector in India. Dr. Sharma, you pointed out that the committee is not looking at the role of microfinance institutions in totality. It is only looking at one function, which is of providing credit. And Professor Bhattacharya had to say that how does one regulate a sector when the institutions working in the sector indulge in multiple activities? How do you respond to that?
Actually, recall East India Company. They were very much active in other things, like they were having military and so much extortion. They were managing so many things while sitting in London, and there was no transportation, no communication. They were able to do all these cruel things, and we are not able to do any spiritual things. And if you talk about suicides, the suicide is a mental problem. So the thing is, people are not able to handle their failures. People are.
No, but then how do I assess your performance? Say
Yeah,
I'm a regulator, and you are an you are an MFI, and you tell me that you haven't been able to do well on the provision of credit front, but you are doing very well as a counseling center.
No, I'm not saying.
But how do I assess your performance?
No, actually, I'm not saying I am poor in handling this credit part. I am having balance of both the things, and social audit system is already available in the system. Na? So why are you so much afraid that these two things should be remain separated? No.
Okay.
It is quite possible, and we are doing this, and we are quite happy.
Okay, so these two activities need not be separate. If you are doing well as a
for us, this microcredit is a byproduct. The main thing is spiritual upliftment of the people.
Okay.
So we are working for this, and we are quite happy. Our team, our staff, our boss, all are happy. So what is the problem? Actually, the problem is people don't want to see these things. If we are able to spiritually uplift the country, so the economy will grow, and they can lead into the whole world. Let us try to understand, we are catering 70-80% of the population of this country, and it's a serious issue.
Okay. Professor Bhattacharya, the other thing that we were talking about, the availability of choice for the borrower. If I mean, Sanjeev was making the case for that. If he has 6 or 7 various microfinance institutions to cater to him, if they are running after him, you take credit from us, the interest rates will obviously go down. Now, if you limit that to just 2 or 3, it is probably micromanagement, too much micromanagement, which will not be successful, and eventually the idea will collapse.
Well, competition in principle is a desirable. The problem is, you are dealing with a sector which has been historically deprived. Nobody else is willing to come. And that's why you have a microfinance institutions, all these special things like that. Had it been like, let's say, normal credit of banking, then you don't have to have restriction of 1, 2, 3. There are large number of banks. People have choices. People can go to this bank, that bank, this credit window, that credit window. But here is a sector. The whole thing is because institutional finance is not flowing in. Now the comes is, if you have a catchment area and you say I shall have too many operators allowed, then each one of them having viable business means area is very prosperous. But by definition, microfinance is catering to the people of poor. So I am saying that things are contradicting itself. If you have a prosperous area and it can accommodate, say, 6 different players, fair enough. But which area of the country you can say that there will be so many competitive microfinance institutions all running viable? It's a sustainability, viability of business is equally important. You know the history of the entire rural finance. Rural credit collapsed. Regional banks all collapsed. So we are dealing with a segment where there is a desperation. When all these institutions collapsed, it was exposed back to moneylenders. So many farmers committed suicide. Then we say, let us revive some other way of providing fund to this, and that's the microfinance. We have got the idea basically from Bangladesh, where it is supposed to be quite successful. Okay, group lending, collateral and things like that. Bangladesh charges microfinance at a market interest rate, no concession given. They believe that otherwise money will be again taken back. You are giving it.
They ensure viability.
They ensure viability. Supposed to be the most successful microfinance institutions in the whole world. India, the problem is wherever you are trying, if the business is too good, like in Andhra, they had started charging high rate of interest, and then farmers unable to repay, they committed suicide. So the government comes and regulation, he says, you need a balancing. This is not a sector where you can maximize profit. Then the purpose of lending will be lost. Your objective is to help the poor, to raise their standards slowly. You can dramatically make from rags to riches. Those who become rags to riches don't go through this kind of, they have their own entrepreneurship. So the microfinance is idea, help as many small people with small loans. Let them raise their standards slowly, as done everywhere. Now, coming back to the same question, who monitors what they're doing? I think this will still remain a challenging problem.
Okay. Monitoring and regulation, you say it will remain to be a challenge. Our phone lines have now been opened. These are toll-free numbers on which you can call us and share with us whatever query or views you might have on our subject. Our numbers are 1-800-11-5313 and 1-800-11-5314. Now, Sanjeev, what could be the objective of limiting the number of lenders to 2? Is the objective to curb competition, or is the objective to ensure that the borrower does not end up borrowing from too many institutions, and so that he has too much credit to pay back? What could be the objective?
From the report, it would appear the objective was to protect the borrower. Okay. I think Mr. Malegam, who's very, very well regarded in the financial sector, in subsequent interviews has also said that the idea of the report is to protect the borrower.
Protect the borrower.
If that is the case, I mean, one thing that strikes me as very odd is that the voice of the people who borrow simply doesn't come through in the report.
Really? How so?
Because the report really seems to be, everything seems to concentrate or focus on regulating the microfinance institutions. Why do borrowers go to microfinance institutions, or why do they go to money lenders? Thank God for money lenders, I would say.
Because of the lack of institutional finance.
A lack of institutions. Somebody is willing to reach out to them. It might, obviously the cost is very high, but it's better than nothing at all. Now, if you want to help them, then why do you regulate, or why do you limit the number of people who want to reach them? I mean, I'll turn the argument on its head. Now, people say that one of the things the report says is majority of the lending should be for productive purposes. It strikes me as a very patronizing way of approaching this. The millions of credit cards given in India, they're also unsecured loans. When you give a credit card, you tell somebody who's a credit, don't spend it on consumption. Oh, why is it that only the poor are told, don't spend anything on, spend it only on income generating activities? I mean, you're treating them in a very patronizing way, as if they can't think for themselves.
Okay. We have a viewer on the phone with us right now. We have Mr. DP Singh from Hisar, Haryana. Welcome to Public Forum, Mr. BP Singh.
Thank you very much.
Yes, please go on.
हाँ सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन है.
जी कहिए.
हाँ, मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि क्या माइक्रो फाइनेंस अदर देन ग्रुप लेंडिंग के अलावा क्या इंडिविजुअल लेंडिंग भी हो सकती है?
जी. सुनीता जी, आप बताना चाहेंगे इनको?
इंडिविजुअल लैंडिंग भी हो सकती है. एक्चुअली यहाँ पर पैसे की सीलिंग है कि 50,000 से ऊपर हम लोग इंडिविजुअल को नहीं दे सकते हैं. अभी इस वक्त चर्चा मालेगांव कमेटी की हो रही है, तो उन्होंने ये सजेस्ट किया कि हम ग्रुप के थ्रू ही दें, इंडिविजुअल लैंडिंग ना करें. बट ये कोई अभी आरबीआई की पॉलिसी नहीं है, सिर्फ रिकमेंडेशन है.
ओके, सो I think we can begin from this point which the gentleman has brought in, asking this question. Group lending and not through individual. Will that be? Do you approve of this recommendation? What is your view?
Actually, sometimes there is a scenario that the whole village has been divided into so many groups, and few individuals are there. So, for exceptions, there should be provision of individual lending also. But yeah, at broader level, group is a good idea.
Okay.
And I want to say something about his point.
Okay.
Actually, you were saying this thing about,
Limiting the number.
Limiting the number and because sites, etc. things and multiple MFIs, etc. So once again, I want to you to see the word counseling. Actually, if we can undertake this word financial wisdom, and we can prepare our borrowers that you learn how to manage your funds, how to take your financial decisions. This part is covered, then this problem may be reduced.
Okay.
Actually, let us understand.
No, but
one
the problem is how many institutions are doing it. I mean, the very fact that it was necessitated to set up such a committee to look into the concerns was because of so many news reports which came in from Andhra about poor borrowers having committed suicide.
Now you are discussing the problem of execution and implementation.
Yeah.
Let us come to the broader idea first. We should understand the single penny which comes into the system, into the economy, it comes in a form of loan. This corporate sector is accepting this thing that each and every penny is a loan. Medium range people are accepting this, they are digesting this, then why not these poor people? Let them understand that each and every person of this world is in a trap of a debt. So let them understand, let them discuss this thing, let them decide their financial decisions on their own. So we should not restrict them to go to 1 MFI or 100 MFIs.
I think that's fair enough. That's democratization, leaving it up to the people to take their own financial decisions. We have one more viewer on the phone line with us. We have Mr. Vinod Kumar Singh from Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. Welcome to Public Forum, Mr. Singh.
Sir, actually, I want to know what will be the rate of interest on the microfinancing?
Rate of interest, it remains to be a subject of discussion, and RBI, the Maligam committee has talked at length about. We have talked. We'll be taking it up in the subsequent segment. It's time for me to slip into a break. When we come back.